All right, let's talk about Victor Wembanyama and the Spurs because I'm gonna be honest with you, they are impressing me so much. I did predict them to have a really good season just looking at their roster. I knew they had a deep team. I thought that they fixed a lot of the issues that they had in the past and that they were only getting better because Wemby was going to come back better. Every single player was going to come back better because they're all actually pretty young still, which is kind of crazy. And they have such good contracts on their like roster, right? Which only helps you win. So I think I'm gonna be very bold at the end of the video, but I want to show you guys some statistics of the season right now. So as you can see, Victor Wembanyama is averaging 31, 13.8, and 2.8 assists. They've won 5 games in a row, the Spurs, which by the way is the first time in NBA history or in Spurs history that they've ever started off a season 5-0. That includes every year they ever had with Artis Gilmore, with George Gervin, every year that with David Robinson, Tim Duncan, with Kawhi, with Parker and Ginobili. Like this is the first time they've ever done it in their franchise, and it's with Wemby's third year. Now Wemby is on pace to become like not just an all-time great, but he's on pace to be one of the 3 best players of all time in terms of just statistics and accomplishments. Because, and that sounds kind of shocking to say, but I'm just gonna tell you that right now. There's reasons I say that, and I'll get more into it. But one of the things that I want to show you, and this is something I found really interesting. I was looking up his stats, and I'm not saying that stats are everything and that it tells you everything, but his PER right now is a 40.9. That is kind of ridiculous. I assume that's probably going to drop over the season. I doubt he ends the season at a 40. But the weird thing about him is I'm looking at his games. Yeah, he's averaging 31, 13.8, and 2.8 assists per game, like on 60% from the field. But that looks sustainable. That's the weird part about it. And I'll show you specific games. But the way he's playing right now, it actually feels and it looks like he's not playing as good as he can be, or as good as he will be towards the end of the season. And one thing about Wemby is he gets so much better at playing at the end of the season. He is one of those players that drastically improves throughout the year, which is kind of crazy. But anyways, I want to show you guys something, and I found this kind of baffling. I was looking at these statistics in the advanced settings, and hopefully you guys are able to see this. But as you can see, box plus minus, Wemby's at a 14.6. Now, I'm not the biggest fan of advanced statistics, but when I saw that 14.6, it stood out. I said, wait a minute. Jokic, the previous last years, has been getting a 13 box plus minus. Now, he plays the whole season like that, right? But Wemby, what he has that Jokic doesn't have is the defense. See, defensively, Wemby, this is sustainable. He is that good defensively. He's the best defender in the world by far. The scary thing about Wemby is he's going to be higher when it comes to offensive blocks plus minus, and some of these advanced stats are kind of cool to look at. Like his defensive rebound percentage is a 39.4. That is incredible. That is mind-boggling good. Wemby's actually one of the best rebounders. Like, I mean, he is. People know that, but like, he's absolutely disgusting right now, and his turnover percentage is down. So overall, he's just improving in every statistical category possible. Okay, but I just thought that 14.6 was phenomenal. Obviously, I don't believe that advanced stats are everything, but I wanted to show you guys that. Now, for comparison, I think Wemby right now is either the best player in the world or the second best player in the world. The other guy that's in competition with him, and I think Giannis right now has the lead just because he's probably had better games. Obviously, he's more experienced. He's in his 14th year. What is this? Is this really his 14th season? No way, this is not his 14th season. What am I talking? I can't do math. 12 years in the league? This is his 12th season? Wow. That's kind of baffling. Like, what? But he's averaging 36, 7 assists, 14 rebounds. Now, his box plus minus, he's actually number 1 in the NBA at 15.1. Now, can Giannis sustain 15.1? I don't know, right? But I will tell you that defensively, he's at 2.9. Wemby's at 6. Giannis is having a better offensive season by far. Wemby is kind of struggling on the floor right now. His efficiency from 3 is not there, for example. He's getting his dunks, but it's weird. It looks like he can be better. I don't really know a lot. I don't like talking about advanced stats, to be honest with you, but that's just in comparison. I think they're clearly the 2 best players in the entire NBA right now. So that's what I wanted to show you guys in terms of the statistics. Now, let me go back to full screen. So here's my theory about Wemby. Okay, Wemby is on pace to, in my opinion, be top 3 all time without a doubt. Like, I'm trying to think like who I would put in comparison with him in terms of all time grades. Like, which player would I compare to him? The only guy that comes to mind is Wilt and Bill Russell. Okay, defensively, he's kind of like both, but he's more like Wilt than Russell because Wilt was more of a shot blocker, rim deterrent. Like, Wilt made people afraid to take layups. That's what Wemby does, and that's where his defensive value comes. Okay? That's the scary part about Wemby. Like, that, no matter how bad he's playing, he, like, this game right here where he only had one block was one of the best defensive games I've ever seen anybody play because he legit terrified everybody. Nobody wanted to go into the paint. They were taking bad floater after bad floater after bad floater after bad floater. And he just kept, and like, I'm kidding you not. Like, this dude is unstoppable on the defensive end. He's amazing. But here's the scary thing about Wemby, okay? Offensively, he's getting better. But one of the things about defense that people don't realize, and I'm going to tell you my opinion about this, the most valuable play in the NBA that anyone can do is a 4-point play, right? Not a 4-point play as in shoot a 3, get fouled. Those are valuable too. But a 4-point play as in you block a shot, that's 2 points. You go down the other side and you score another 2. That's 4 points, right? This is something that I've watched from just watching basketball throughout history, right? When I would watch Bill Russell, when I would watch Wilt Chamberlain, right? When I would watch Kareem, Hakeem, like Jordan, all these people, the most valuable play anybody could make is a defensive stop, whether a steal or a block, right? And then run down and score on the other end. That is the most valuable play in the NBA. Wemby can do that 4 or 5 times a game. Those are, I mean, think about it. That's what, 8 points, bare minimum? If he does it 4 times, that's an 8-point swing. Think about it like that. Obviously, there's a lot. I mean, I don't want to get into the math or anything like that. But just think about that. That is so valuable. So Wemby just being this good defensively makes him a valuable offensive player because he's creating more defensive possessions or offensive possessions for his teammates, especially with that type of rebounding ability. But actually, out of everything that I saw, the most valuable thing that I've seen about Wemby is his rebounding percentage on the defensive rebounds is a 39.4. Giannis right now is leading the NBA in rebounds, I believe, because Giannis has been playing like a monster. It's actually kind of insane how good Giannis has been playing. I think he's not. I guess he's not leading the league in rebounds right now. I don't know. I thought he was, but I wonder who is. I'll check that later. But I want to see what Giannis's is. Defensive rating 22, but his off 31. Okay, that's still really high. 31 and 13.9. 13.9 is really good. But Giannis is a beast, right? But that I was really impressed by Wemby's rebounding ability. I will be honest. Like that's just me being honest. But the fact that he can rebound that well, the fact that he can play defense that well, that alone adds value to his offense. See, Jokic can rebound, but he can't lock down. And that's the one thing that keeps Jokic from going into that conversation with Jordan, with LeBron, with Wilt, with Kareem, right? With those 4 specifically. But Wemby can do it all. That's the scary thing, right? And he's only getting better. He's 21, and he already has that, right? And I'll tell you something that I noticed about, like, I'm going to be honest. Wemby's one of those players that can play in any era. One, he has the size, he has the length. That stuff alone makes him valuable in any era. But another thing that he has is this ability to learn quickly. He went in the offseason and got some of the best footwork in the NBA now. He came back, and his footwork is phenomenal. I've seen plays of him use his footwork, and I'm like, whoa. You know what I mean? And he's still not like just overpowering players. Next year, bro, you think Wemby is good now? There's an argument for him to be number 2. Giannis has a case to be the best player in the world. By the end of this season, I think by the end of this season, but by the beginning of next season, it won't even be close. It's going to be Wemby's league for certain, and nobody could argue with him. He's getting that. You think what he's doing now is nasty? Wait till you see him next year. Wait till 2026. Wait till 22-year-old Wemby steps on the court. He's still 21. Wait till you see him next year. You think he's already good? You haven't seen nothing yet. Wemby ain't no, like, I'm telling y'all, man. I'm not the biggest fan of like hyping players up. But when I saw this kid in France, I said, okay, he's a shooter. He shoots a lot. That didn't impress me. All right, 7'3" guy. I've seen a lot of guys that shoot. Kristaps Porzingis shoots a lot. What I saw about him in France was the defense. I could see it from a mile away. Oh, he's nasty, right? Defensively, he is on a whole different level. And then the other thing that I saw was the passing ability. Now, when I saw the passing ability, one thing that I realized was he has a high IQ, right? Because the passes he was making wasn't like obvious reads. It was no, he sees the play ahead of time and knows where the player is going to be. That means he has a high IQ, and I saw that from a mile away. And now he's showing it because now his body's developed, and those things he couldn't do last year, which he wanted to, by the way, if you listen to his interviews, he would say that he can do them now. So that's what I saw in France, what made me go, oh, he's special. And yes, I predicted him to win MVP his third year, right? I have tweets about this. You know, I should probably pull him up. But Wemby is on a whole different level. At worst, he's the fifth best player in the world. But I think he's clearly number 2 or number 1 behind Giannis. Or number 1 or number 2 behind Giannis. My bad. Right? But I think it's only because he's starting off, you know, the year and they're doubling him and they're putting a lot more pressure than before. So he has to get used to it. But like I said, Wemby learns fast. So within a couple months, Wemby's efficiency is already at 60%. Don't be surprised if he ends the year at 60%. Right? But the one thing that's going to go up is his free throw percentage and his three-point percentage. That's what's going to go up. And his turnovers are going to go down. His assists are going to go up. And the Spurs are only going to get better. Don't be surprised when the Spurs go to the conference finals. Don't be surprised if they give the Thunder a run for their money. Because of all teams in the NBA that match up with the Thunder, nobody, and I mean nobody matches up with the Thunder better than the Spurs do. Because the Thunder have no answer for Wemby. But because Wemby's a rim protector and the Spurs are very defensively savvy, they're going to give nightmares to the Thunder. December 24 and 25, whenever, I think it's the 25th. December 25th on Christmas Day, when you see what Wemby does to the Thunder, you'll understand. Let's just say it like that. That's the end of the video. I'm not even hyping Wemby like that. I'm not even I'm just telling y'all what's going to happen. You know what I mean? This kid is special. He learns quickly. When you see him develop his game all the way through, do not be surprised. Don't be surprised. Because he's going to simplify his game even more over time. He's going to get super good at certain things, right? His fadeaway is going to be perfect on... He might shoot a nice little bank shot or something like that, like Tim Duncan would do, right? He's going to develop something that he can go to every time and you can't stop it. Once he develops that move, right, and it's probably going to be in the post, the league is cooked. There's nothing they can do. Now he's able to just play his defense, roam around, get rebounds, pass it out, outlet possessions, fast break. Y'all cooked. This is what Wilt was like. If you want to compare, by the way, I'm going to give you a player comparison. It's Wilt Chamberlain. This is what Wilt was like in the 60s. When you watch those highlights, this is what he did. He impacted the game in every aspect. Nobody wanted to score in the paint because of him. He could block every shot. That's what Wemby's doing in this NBA. So anyways, that's the end of the video. Not glazing. I'm telling you the truth, right? I hope that the kid stays healthy. Let's just say it like that, because he can be very special. He's going to have a special career. But in terms of just being honest, he's probably going to be the best player in the world. And I think he has the ability or the potential to be the best player of all time. So anyways, God bless you. Jesus loves you. Goodbye. Take care.